Let's create this hair. But first we need to water my lovely plants. I'm so bad keeping them alive as well as in making the hair. For real. Watering is done, let's turn on my PC. And we also need some good vibes. So let's start. Let's turn off the modest hair, the one that defaultly was created. I'm gonna go with Shift A and we're gonna add a sphere. Yes, let's do that. So number 3, G, move it up like that. This is looking already very funny, I would say. Tap to the edit mode and now we shall scale it in the x-axis like this. Number 3, S, Y, and let's just make it this size. Okay, this looks funny. I think in here we can add X and do this even more. So this would be the rough shape that we're gonna work with today. And we shall also take the whole object in the object mode, G, Z, and move it even more down so we would be connecting the hair width along the ears. Perfect. So now let's start with playing around with the mesh. Obviously we definitely won't want this to be covering his whole face. So let's just select those faces here. Like that. Maybe let's take even more. Or maybe we should just take it from here and we'll see what happens. Okay, so let's G, X, and let's just move it backwards like this. Okay, it's starting to be a little bit uneven, but that's exactly what we wanted. So now basically this is a good start for us, I would say. Definitely a good one, isn't it? So now let's just go here and select the vertex selection, G, X, and let's just move it just a little bit to the back. And here it's actually quite nice already. Cool. Now let's see what happens if we add any of the subdivision surface modifier. Okay, we can also shade it smooth just to see what's happening. Okay, so I think I'm quite satisfied here with this edge. So now let's proceed with some texture on the top of the hair. So let me see. Okay, so we shall first take those 3 vertices, G, and just move them slightly down. Now we shall do that on the other side as well, G, Z. Now let's take this here. Okay, go to the side, GZ, and let's just move them quite more than we would like to. Okay, then let's do this on the other side as well, here like this, G. This time we will actually move it in this direction, so that's gonna be the y-axis. Okay, now let's select just some of the random points here. Really just go with the random points, G, X, and let's just move them up a little bit. Okay, now look at this. Yep. So now we will work with the forehead. So here we also need a little bit of details, so let's just make it a little bit uneven. So let's just select random points again here in the front, G, X, and let's just move them back, but only slightly, like that. Also, like take this one, G, let's just move it up. And now we can just play a little bit with the texture here to make it a little bit more uneven, especially here on the top. Of course, we can also work with the back, but it's usually not that visible anyways on the renders, but let's just do it for the sake of the completeness. And okay, so this would be the start for the hair. Let's also make it uneven here a little bit. Right, so we already have really good starting point. So now let's add a few details with a little more of the advanced technique, but we shall see how it proceeds. So let's shift A and we're gonna add a curve. Okay, don't worry about the curves, we're just gonna add the NURBS curve today. That looks like this. If you tap it, you have this envelope where you can influence while moving these points the curve, so that's quite easy. And we also shall add another one and you'll see exactly what's gonna happen. So we got to add the circle number 7. Just move it over here, tap to the edit mode, and now let's take those two as and let's just scale it down like this. Okay, very easy. Let's take this one as well as Z or Y, and let's just scale it down as well. So this would be the shape that we're gonna go and shape it around this curve. So let's go to the curve here and we shall find a place that is called geometry bevel. Switch to the object, and now let's add and select that curve. Obviously this is a little bit horrifying experience to see this, I'm sorry. So let's just go to the edit mode of that curve, select everything, and let's just scale it down. Okay, so let's just get it down to a reasonable size, maybe like that. Okay, so this is the shape that is now kind of extruded along the curve, which is really interesting. And we shall also turn on filling the cap, so here we won't be having any holes. All right, so now this is a little bit of the play with just the curve, so I will just let it completely up to you, but I will just show you a simple technique that we're gonna use. So now basically the idea here is to create a few of those hair that would just go in front of his face of our Jimmy. So let's just basically play with this curve in a way that we can basically just modify it in any direction. So we can also do it here, why not? So let's just do Y990. So it's gonna be R Y890 like that. Okay, just place it around his and here, and we're gonna now go and do the play with the curve. Okay, so this is very easy to kind of work with, because basically what you do is just moving and playing along with this envelope. Okay, if you want to scale it down, we can just do it in the normal object mode. There's no shame about it. So let's do that. Move it here. So now we're just gonna connect this here, and the idea here is to obviously create a few of those, so we can extrude it. So if you take this point here and press E, you can extrude it out. Okay, so this would be the first kind of hair going from his head, and now let's add of course more. So we're just gonna shift D. Let's add another one here. We can just easily rotate that here. Okay, I think we'll just be using the same one, and let's just make it a little less curvy here. Okay, now let's tap out, shift D, make one here. You can see that it's very easy to work with this. Shift D. We can just sort of make it here. Okay, I'm just completely now improvising the whole thingy. Okay, so there's no magic hidden around it. And let's also add another one here. I don't have any reference pictures that you would not be having maybe. Okay, so now let's just check quickly how the render looks. Look at that. Okay, cool. So I think we also will be needing some of it here, just to finish that whole part. Okay, so we definitely don't want him to look like, you know, like a crazy sort of homeless guy, but it's good to add some. We can actually scale this here, and let's just make it really just a few little hair here, and again playing with this is very friendly, I would say. So make it just a little bit that it goes also through the back. Right, look at that. And I think this one needs to be modified a little bit. Okay, this is exactly what we wanted. One more here, scale it down a little bit. And we shall also do that with the other side. So let's just copy one of those, Shift D. Now make one here. Control number 1, and let's just move it like this. Okay. Here I think it would be more precise if it goes like this. Let's see. Okay, I kind of like it. Tell me, how do you like it? I think we're gonna also add one here. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Tap, and let's just connect it here. So this is the main site where the hair is, and these are just the additional ones. So we're just gonna play a little bit of it where they come from. And I think it would be also cool to have one big here. Okay, so let's copy this big one, rotate it a little bit, just gonna scale it up, tap to the edit mode. Number 1, let's just pull this out like that. Is exactly. I'm gonna speed up this part a little bit. So this would be the first attempt of our beautiful Jimmy's hair, right? So now let's see how it looks in the render report. I think it's quite decent. I'm not sure if we definitely need those here. I don't think that we need this one. Maybe not even that one. Let me see. I think the Jimmy deserved this one to be a little more angled here in the head. So let's just take this and make it work. Okay, so this is cool, I think. And this is the final render. Enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Thang is out.